the meeting of the Lammersville Unified Board of Education to order at 11 o'clock. Just a reminder, this meeting is being live streamed and recorded, so please silence or turn off your cell phones at this time. To find my script. If I could call Bethany Elementary forward to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Ready, salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, I am Principal Jason Strickland at Bethany. I want to say thank you, board members and Dr. Nicholas, for having us today. I don't want to speak too much. I have three phenomenal students from Bethany that I'm going to introduce. First up, Sukhjot Kaur, Madison Lagman, and Sophia Verdon. Come on up, girls. They're going to talk about kind of what we finished last year with ASB and then what we look forward to for this year.
Welcome, Principal Strickland and Bethany students.
Good evening, board members and Dr. Nicholas. Thank you for allowing time for our presentation. My name is Madison, and I will be telling you a little bit about the Castle Spring State Conference in Ontario, California. This year at the 2026 Castle State Spring Conference, we got to learn how to be a better leader and how to be a better student. We also got to learn traits that not only leaders need, but also traits that people in everyday life need. Not only did we get to learn at this conference, but we also got to share and teach other leaders from around the state about the amazing events and things that we do at our school, Bethany. In order to do so, we had 11 students, each mostly matched, share one event that we do at our school. Chloe Aquino, our former president, was elected to serve as the freshman director on the 2027 Castle State Board, along with Donovan Rudish, who serves as the Castle president, Natalie Navarro, who serves as the Director of Operations, and Vivian Zhang, who serves as the Media Coordinator. All of these leaders were once previous Bethany students.
Hi, my name is Sophia, and during summer break, me and 15 other Bethany HOSA members attended the HOSA International Leadership Conference, or ILC for short, in Indianapolis, Indiana for their 50th anniversary. During those 4 days, we were able to socialize and make new connections with aspiring health professionals from all over the world, with teens from countries such as Canada and Korea. At ILC, we were able to get first place in public health, the second year in a row that Bethany has produced a national champion. Not only that, but other members of Bethany HOSA were able to receive top 10 in both Health Career Display and Emotional Wellbeing Challenge.
Hi, my name is Sukhjot, and I'll be telling you about some of our school events. We are so excited for the 26 to 27 school year. We have some fun events coming up that will help build our inclusive community on campus. In August, we have our ASB elections, cross-country tryouts, and volleyball tryouts. In September, we have the family glow dance, volleyball games, cross-country meets, and our fun run. In October, we have our first rally of the year, the homecoming parade, with the theme being Pac-Man for our float, Red Ribbon Week Spirit Days, Trunk or Treat, and our first ever staff versus 8th grade volleyball game. In November, we have our Salute to Service event, Pie fundraiser, and basketball tryouts. And lastly, in December, we have our Salute to Service event, have Cultural Night / Talent Show, preparing for Castle Conference registration and applications, and lastly, our basketball games. This marks the end of our presentation. We would like to thank the board members and Dr. Nicholas for having us here today.
Thank you very much, Bethany students. Are there any questions or comments by the board?
I have one quick comment. First of all, you guys, thank you for being here. You did a great job. I love what you have planned for the school year. But I think what I'm most impressed at is the success that Bethany has had at Castle for a number of years now. And I honestly feel like Bethany is legendary at Castle. So keep up the good work.
Trustee Boulay, that's exactly what I was going to say, because when you were, listing the students that have been elected to positions at Castle, in my head, I'm thinking, how many of them are from Bethany? And you answered that question. And So whatever you're doing at Bethany, great job producing great leaders who continue to do great leadership, servant leadership as they go into high school and beyond. So great presentation.
Yeah, we'll do it again.
All right.
Thank you again, and if you would like to leave the meeting at this time, you're more than welcome to. If you'd like to stay, it promises to be a riveting meeting, and I'm sure you will find enjoyment you didn't realize was possible. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Lisa Boulay,
Here.
Vanita Daniel,
Absent.
Samik Modi,
Here.
Stephanie Olson,
Here.
David Pombo,
Here.
Ahana Ilangovan.
Here.
Approval and/or corrections to the agenda.
There are none.
Move to approve the agenda.
Second.
On a motion by trustee Olson, seconded by trustee Boulay. Student trustee preferential vote.
Aye.
A little better. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries with 4 ayes and 1 absent. Item 5, recognition, DARE program, Officer Abercrombie. Staff report?
Yeah, we're going to have Assistant Superintendent Busatil come up and introduce our recognition individual for the evening.
Good evening, President Pombo, trustees, Dr. Nicholas. Thank you for having me here this evening as we recognize Officer Abercrombie and all of the work that he's done for the Lammersville School District. So if you wouldn't mind, Officer Abercrombie, come on up. So we really wanted just to take time to share all of our appreciation. Each year, Officer Abercrombie came ready to serve our students, our community, and the service that you provided to not just our students, and went beyond that. It went to our schools, the communities beyond our schools, our staff members, and if we can think back to all of the different times, my own boys included, that were touched by the commitment that you had to help our students and the molding of our students, to make sure that they had a full toolkit to make positive choices, not just today, not just in 5th grade, but well beyond that into their adulthood. And so I can think this is a small memento of our appreciation, because we could do a plaque or something like that, but that wouldn't have the same depth of all the different lives that you have touched. You'll see some of the pictures in here, and there's some old timers in here that wanted to make sure that they were included in celebrating you and all of your hard work. And I don't think our words could ever truly express our appreciation for countless years of service that you did to our students and for our families here in the district. And so we want to share our sincere appreciation for all that you've done.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, and so with that, we have like a couple pages for each one of our school sites and some messages inside, and we want to wish you the very best in the next chapters of your adventures, and I'm sure that we'll see you from time to time as well.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much. It's 20 years. I started when it was Lammersville in the first year of Wickland. And it was funny because Wickland invited me to their opening, and they had done a great job of setting up the chairs out in the parking lot. And then, of course, the wind took them and pushed them all the way across the parking lot. And I still remember one of the parents coming up and saying, "Is it windy out here?" I said, "No, it's just today." And then I pointed to the windmills on the mountain, you know. But it's been an amazing ride. Met some great people, great support from the board, from the superintendent, the teachers, the principals, parents, kids, just amazing. 20 years, a lot of great memories. I'm very blessed that God allowed me to have this opportunity, and I thank you. This means a lot to me to see these pictures and relive those moments. So thank you very much. I'm very humbled. Thank you.
We're going to stand up here so the board can take a picture with you real quick.
You do it.
I also want to give a shout out to my city manager and my finance director from Tracy came out to be here tonight. So thank you very much.
Comments by the board?
Yes, Officer Abs, don't leave yet. We're going to make some comments about you. I'll start. I got a little emotional when I saw you getting emotional, Officer Abs, because I have 5 children, and all 5 of my children got to have the DARE experience with Officer Abs. My youngest was in 6th grade last year, and I thought maybe we wouldn't get that experience because he had announced his retirement from all the other DARE programs, but he stayed with Lammersville one final year. And so I've personally felt your impact, but I've seen the influence you've had on so many students over the years. And I've loved going to the DARE graduations and celebrating with you the work that you've done with our teachers to promote such good values and standards. And you're going to be incredibly missed. And I just hope you know how valuable you've been to this community and still are. And I wish you the best, and thank you so much from the bottom of my heart.
And I would like to say, Officer Ebbs, you are not just a DARE instructor. My 3 kids had you, and it was an honor. I was very fortunate that all my children had you for the DARE program. But not just an instructor, you were a mentor and you were a coach. And at those DARE graduations, it was obvious how well you bonded with those kids and how much respect they had for you. And the lessons that they learned because of that connection, the lessons that they learned, I think, went well beyond 5th grade. My kids, when I go to have a evening drink, they still comment. So thank you again for everything you did for all of our students over the last 20 years.
I just want to echo the gratitude, and I think it's hard to quantify the amount of time that you've spent for the kids in this community. I'm a little bit disappointed. My 2 kids are just getting to 4th grade and 2nd grade, so they won't benefit from all of your contributions. But again, thank you so much for what you've done for our district. Can't express that appreciation enough.
Madam Student Trustee, would you like to say anything?
My brother actually just had you this year, and I remember he got like some award this year, and he was telling, I remember my parents were all having a drink, and like, as you said, he was like, drink police at our house as well. And I had you, I remember I was in 5th grade during COVID, so I was online, and even though it was online, it really still like, I really got the message, and it was a great opportunity to have as well.
And I would like to thank you both for your work in the DARE program and also for your friendship over the years. Haven't been to as many DARE graduations as you have, but I've been to a few. And some of my kids and grandkids had the pleasure of having you as their DARE instructor, and they enjoyed it. Trustee Olson mentioned getting a little emotional when you announced your retirement. I think I got a little emotional at every single DARE program graduation that I went to that you presided over, because of the emotion and care that you exhibited for the students. It was clear to everyone at every DARE graduation that I went to, at least, how much you cared for the kids and cared for their well-being and their futures. And for all of that, we are eternally grateful. Thank you, sir.
Really appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Moving on to committee reports. Item 6. This is the time of year that we juggle the committee, so I'm going to announce the changes in the committees at this time, and then I will circle back and allow anyone to have committee reports that has one. The District Advisory Committee, Trustee Modi is coming off, and I, Trustee Pombo, am taking his place on the District Advisory Committee. On the District English Language Learner Advisory Committee, Trustee Olson is stepping down and Trustee Daniel is taking her place. On the Education Committee, I, Trustee Pombo, am stepping down and Trustee Boulay is going to take my place. On the Policy Committee, Trustee Daniel will be stepping down and Trustee Olson will be replacing her. And on the Wellness Committee, Trustee Boulay will be stepping down and Trustee Modi will be replacing her. Now to double back, on the District Advisory Committee, Trustee Modi, who is leaving that committee, do you have any report for that committee?
Nothing to report.
Thank you. District English Language Advisory, English Learner Advisory Committee, DLAC, Trustee Olson, who's stepping down. Do you have anything to report for that?
Yes, the next DLAC meeting will be on Monday, August 26th at 6:30 p.m.
Point of clarification, I have Tuesday, August 25th.
Oh, maybe it's the 25th. I thought it was Monday, but
We'll double check and get
I
it
think
back.
my
25th?
recollection says it is the 25th. but
okay.
And then
Sometimes called into question.
I am a current member of that board, past and present, I guess. I will not, I'm going to be out of town, so I will not be able to make Tuesday's meeting. I have already reached out to Trustee Daniel. I forwarded her the information to make sure she has it for the meeting, and she said that she does plan on being there.
All right. Very well, thank you. The Education Committee that I am leaving, I have nothing to report at this time. Facilities Committee, Trustee Olson.
Nothing to report at this time.
Thank you. Policy Committee, Trustee Modi, who's currently on that committee. Anything to report?
Just that the CSBA quarterly update is coming out on August 26th, or at least the webinar is on August 26th at 11 a.m. And this round of updates includes special education, elections, governing board, parcel tax, general obligation boards, discrimination prevention, Assembly Bill 715, and a Supreme Court order in Mirabella versus Bonta.
Thank you. And for the Safety Committee, I have nothing to report at this time. Wellness Committee, Trustee Boulay, who's leaving that committee. Do you have anything to report?
I think I have, oh, actually, no, I don't have anything to report, sorry. I thought I had the
right.
date, but I don't, sorry.
Thank you. Item 7, Governing Board Reports. Madam Student Trustee.
Good evening, President Pombo, Lammersville trustees, and Nicholas. Our first 2 full weeks back to school has been jam-packed with different activities and events coming up. To start us off, our clubs are officially getting started. Returning club presidents will meet on August 24th, followed by a meeting for new club presidents on August 28th. We're also looking forward to our club fair on September 14th, where students will have the opportunity to learn more about the different clubs on campus. Last year, there was around 120 clubs. Moving on, our first football game of the season will be on September 4th, and the name for the game will be Glow Up the Night with a neon theme. Leadership is also planning an exciting entrance for the team, with students running onto the field carrying flags as the football team comes through a breakaway banner. We're looking forward to bringing a lot of school spirit and energy to our first home game of the season. We also have some exciting homecoming updates. Homecoming will be held on October 24th with a video game theme. Seniors will represent Super Mario, juniors will represent Minecraft, sophomores will represent Fortnite, and the freshmen will represent Roblox. The homecoming rally and parade will take place on October 23rd, followed by our homecoming football game. For middle schools, Bethany is Pac-Man, Altamont is Sugar Rush, Evelyn Costa is Sonic, Cortez is Pokemon, Wicklin is Angry Birds, Pombo is Wreck-It Ralph, Lammersville is Dance Dance Revolution, Cuesta is Plants vs. Zombies, and finally Hanson is Donkey Kong. Adding on, August 27th, Mountain House Leadership, K-8, and Tracy Leadership students will participate in a Johnson Renaissance Yearbook Assembly. The assembly, led by Dr. Phil Campbell, will focus on helping leadership teams improve school culture and school spirit. The last week of August will also be freshman elections for president, vice president, secretary, and treasurer. Upperclassmen can now use their off-campus privileges, giving eligible students more flexibility during the school day. Success sessions are also officially open, giving students a chance to get additional support and work on assignments, or even get help when needed. We have also switched from Flex to 5-star this year, which will make it easier for students and staffs to manage their schedules and activity. Finally, our first SAT of the school year will take place on August 27th. We wish everyone taking the SAT the best of luck and hope they have a successful testing day. Moving on, Back to School Night is this Thursday, August 20th. This gives students and their families an opportunity to meet their teachers, learn more about their classes, and get more familiar with what to expect throughout the school year. Yesterday, on August 18th, we also held an AI Parent Night, focused on how we are preparing our students for future careers in college, especially as technology and artificial intelligence continue to become a bigger part of the workforce and education. Our fall sports are also getting underway, with students participating in flag football, tennis, golf, girls volleyball, and other sports. We're excited to see our athletes represent Mountain House High School, and we wish all of our teams a great season. Moving on to our middle and elementary schools. Many schools are currently holding ASB elections and getting their students involved in leadership. At Altamont, cross-country and volleyball tryouts were held on August 17th. They also have a BJ's fundraiser, lemonade stand, and a root beer float event coming later this month. Bethany is holding boys and girls volleyball tryouts from August 17th through the 20th, while Cortez will be having picture day on August 26th. At Pombo, students had their fall picture day yesterday, August 18th. Costa, Hanson, Cuesta, and Wickland also held an AI Parent Night yesterday. Overall, it has been a very active start to the school year across Lammersville Unified, and we're excited for all the events and opportunities coming up. That concludes my student report. Thank you, and I hope everyone has a great school year.
Thank you. Trustee Boulay.
Thank you. My report is short. On August 12th, I attended both Cordis and Altamont Back to School nights, and there was so much energy, not just from the kids and the parents, but really the teachers. They were just so excited to have all the students back, so excited to have parents in the classroom, and there was really, at both campuses, a really good representation of parents. So very good turnout for both of those schools. At Cordis, I met pretty much all the middle school teachers, as well as our new vice principal over there. And at Altamont, I went to some of the younger grades. So I'm hoping everybody has an amazing start to their school year. And that's all I have to report.
Thank you. Trustee Modi.
Thank you. August 6th, after I dropped my own kids off to start the school year, went to the front and greeted parents and students at Hanson. August 13th, went to Hanson's Back to School night, obviously for my two students there. It was great. You know, what I love about Back to School and then later in the year with open houses, it truly, to me, takes me back to when I was in school hallways, right? And like the crowd and all that energy, and it's almost like passing periods. And so it's just great. I think to Trustee Boulay's point, a lot of representation, a lot of participation. And it felt, you know, when you get to the second session, there's some parents who only have one student in that school or grade. And so the second session is always a little bit calmer. And so it felt like a nice reprieve when you get to the second one. So I think the teachers, the staff did a great job of helping maintain everything and organizing it. So I'm glad that at all of our schools that went really well. And then August 17th, I had the kickoff for the NSBA's policy cohort that I've mentioned a couple times. And so that has officially kicked off. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Trustee Olson.
Thank you, President Pombo. On August 6th, I, similar to Trustee Modi, attended the first day of school at Cuesta, and after I dropped off my daughter, I went to the front and greeted parents, and then I attended the Cuesta School Foundation's Boohoo Yahoo breakfast, and I didn't see a lot of tears. Most parents seemed happy to be sending their kids off to school, even the little TKers, and that was a great event put on by the Cuesta School Foundation. And then on August 11th, I attended the Cuesta's school foundations meeting to see what good things they're doing. And I just want to give a shout out to all the foundations. If you're on social media, they've all just upped their game with their graphics and their information, and they're so prepared and organized. And I just love the efforts that they're putting in there to raise funds for our students to provide even more opportunities for them. And so I just wanted to give them a shout out. On August 12th, I attended Altamont School's Back to School Night, and I'll just echo Trustee Boulay and Trustee Modi's comments about the wonderful energy and excitement that was there from students and parents and teachers. I mean, the students were having fun on the playground, like an extended recess, and the parents were enjoying getting to know about their students' classrooms. August 13th, I attended the Cuesta Back to School Night, partially as a parent for my own child. And then for the second session, I went to this and visited the special education teachers. And I love to learn what they are doing to support our students and really appreciate the efforts that our district does there. And then on August 18th, I attended AI Parent Night. And I love that I went to Cuesta's because it was close to my house. But I understand that they were doing the same presentation all across the district. And I think that's great for parents in the community to know that this is a district policy. This is a district implementation of grades 7 through 12. And so that, the same processes and procedures are being followed at each site, and the messaging is very clear. And it was a wonderful night, and I got to talk to some parents and hear their concerns and joys about AI, because there's I think a lot of both feelings in everyone's home. And so that was wonderful. And that is all I did. And I just wanted to end by saying, thank you to everyone who has worked so hard to make the first few weeks of school a wonderful start for our students. I think that they have come back very welcome, and they've hit the ground running. And I feel like it was a very smooth start. And I know that work happened long before the students got here. So thank you very much.
Thank you. On August 6th, I attended the very first day of school at Palmville Elementary. And it was really a joy to see the families, parents, students, teachers, everyone converging on that campus. Very, very exciting. On August 12th, I went to back to school nights at Cordes Elementary and Altamont Elementary. And to echo the words of my fellow board members, it's really, really nice to see the excitement and in both teachers, students, and families to be back to school. On the 13th, I went to back to school night at Lammersville and Hanson, and once again, the excitement by everyone there was very nice to see. And then on the 18th, I attended the Lammersville Elementary Site Council. And that concludes my report. Moving on to item 8, receiving of public comments. Anyone who would like to make a public comment, either at this time during public comment or when during an agendized item, would please fill out one of these blue cards and bring it forward so we know who you are and when to call you. The entire board appreciates hearing from members of the community and public at large. The board shall give members of the public an opportunity to address the board either before or during the board's consideration of each agenda item. Government Code Section 54954.3. At a time so designated on the agenda, members of the public may also bring before the board matters that are not listed on the agenda of a regular meeting. The board may refer such a matter to the superintendent or designee or take it under advisement, but shall not take action at that time. The board may place the matter on the agenda of a subsequent meeting for discussion or action. Individual speakers shall be allowed 3 minutes to address the board on each agenda or non-agenda item. The board shall limit total time for public input on each item to 20 minutes. And at this time, I would like to call forward Sharika Shikar.
Good evening, Board.
Welcome.
I'm here today to represent the community interest regarding health and nutrition at our LUSD schools. California became the first state in the country to offer free meals at all public schools during the 22-23 school year. And this eased the burden on families by saving time and money needed to support students' health and learning, while reducing the stigma around free school meals. While the nutritional aspect is taken care by free access to healthy school meals, there is a huge concern that is defeating this purpose, which is unhealthy, ultra-processed school snacks served on multiple occasions. We see this as part of parents gifting on children's birthday and special events as goodie bags, by school during events through outside vendors, special events as snack options, which the children can easily grab and go, and also as a reward in classrooms. The excess consumption of sugar, ultra-processed food are responsible for type 2 diabetes, hypertension, obesity, metabolic disorders, and cancer, to name a few. The color and other preservatives additives in these foods are known to cause endocrinal disorders, leading to early puberty, allergies, hyperactivity, neurological changes, chronic issues like inflammation, which cause various autoimmune disorders. This is an endemic in the making unless addressed soon. By the way, why is this a problem now? More than ever, kids are now leading a sedentary lifestyle with limited physical activities, increased screen time, more after school keeping them indoors, compounded by genetics and socioeconomic factors. So it's critical that we address this issue early on and save our kids from health hazards in their youth into early adulthood. So here is a recommendation which is suggested as part of the community. LUST Nutritional Advisory Committee needs to review into the current food, snacks offered at school and remove the unhealthy items. Identify the healthy snack treat recommendation for school events and parent snack offering. Parent snack should be a toy or a school-suggested healthy treat. School can also hold educational sessions for parents and children on a quarterly basis to reinforce health and nutritional benefits. As a community advocate, I am involved in building awareness among kids and community about healthy treats. In fact, many families at Costa School are distributing healthy treats during Halloween from the past 2 years. As part of a candy donation programs, kids have also learned reading nutritional labels and sorted healthy treats to share with the lesser privileged kids. Small acts like this can help. I'll just take 2 more minutes to make a difference.
You can finish your sentence and then you're...
Okay, that said, we need to help more kids and families before they fall trapped to the devastating hazard. So I request the board's attention on this matter. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. And I would request that the superintendent have staff reach out to the commenter and get more input. Thank you. Next up, Lubna Hassan.
Good evening, everyone.
Welcome.
Nice to be here again. And my colleague, she covered most of the points regarding the petition we started last year. So far, we have about 400 plus signatures on it. And we also have the pediatrician's recommendation who agrees with us. She's mentioned all the points why it's bad for the kids. Cancer, diabetes, early puberty, these things we can control right at the school level. My kids, they're in 2nd and 3rd and 4th grade. And so the little one, she has a sweet tooth. So no matter how much I discourage her from having all those things, she gets them in the school. And how does she get them? Through the snack cart, through the birthday treats parents bring in. And then we have the vendors on the special nights, like the open house and the movie night. We have the candy, what is it? The cotton candy, all those kind of things, right? We can probably get rid of those. We don't really need them. If budget is an issue, probably we can allocate it from some other bucket and, or the parents can pitch in. We are already paying for the supplies. pitch in. I'm part of PTA, I'm also a volunteer. So we can work around the budget and see what can be done. And one more thing, I came across one ingredient like carmine, and that is added to the breakfast item, I think the banana split. And it's made of, I'm not sure, I did the research, it's made of dead insects, to add the red color to it. So you guys need to look into it because it's obviously not vegetarian and it's something not good. Other than that, there are many things like in the packaging, the BHT, all of these things, they cause issues with the kids. And we can already see the hypersensitive, hyperactive kids these days. I see them and I'm like, what's going on? I don't like it. So the board should look into it. Budgeting, maybe we can reallocate, as I mentioned, from some other bucket and make the school meals better, or the parents can pitch in, or we can work on several options, I guess. So this is my point, and hopefully the board will look into it.
Thank you for your comments.
Thank you.
And once again, if staff could reach out, thank you. Next up is Yamam Aldekok. Oh, thank you.
I have several issues to add to the ladies who were speaking, also about the nutritional contents of the food that's provided in the school, especially the colors, as I believe many of you know that the FDA has already issued like a kind of like a limitation by 2027. Every foods in USA concerning having red 3 coloring should be like banned or eliminated from food. They gave that kind of like a time for industrial stuff, but as a school we should, I think, because you are providing as a district like food services, thankful to the kids to relieve some parents from the burden or even the time thing, but the colors, the dyes are something that need to be reviewed in the menus, I believe, in addition to the carb load and the sugar load in the food they're eating, especially the processed things. I know there's like a mac and cheese and peanut butter and jelly. These are really like heavy sugar loaded contents or foods for the kids. I suggest we look for more healthier options for the kids, more like fruit stuff based. I did notice, unfortunately, when you put the kid in this test to pick between the more sugary stuff and the natural, they will definitely by default go to the more sugary stuff, and don't put them to the test because most probably they will not pick the healthy option. So I would suggest eliminating it, as at least for the early ages, that they're most probably they don't do the right choice in food contents, would be more helpful for them. As it was proven that high sugar levels and either like if it's loaded with carbs and fats, participates in causing some kind of diseases, metabolic problems, and diabetes, and all these stuff that we know about. Additional also for the review for the foods, the events that's happening at school that unfortunately these foods slip there with no control, also is an issue. Adding to that, I just want to quickly talk about like homeschooling information. There's many parents that I see that they need some more information that it's not available. In addition to the overcrowded classes that I've been noticed for 2 kids in 2 different schools, the population is mostly 25 kids plus, and every kid reaching to 30s. And the high school, I'm talking on behalf of several families, so these were the issues they wanted me to mention: the overcrowded classes in high school, and also the overcrowded classes in all the elementary schools that are reaching. Either we need to do more schools, to like split the classes, or even in the same school they have space to do more classes per age or grade, because definitely the attention of the teacher divided on the number of kids, the less kids in the class, the better, like for everyone's benefit. So these are the 4 points: the food, the healthier option, less sugar, carbs, the colors, dyes, homeschooling, the overcrowded classrooms, and the high school. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time as well. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. And once again, if staff could reach out. And now if I could call forward Gaitha Banami.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to speak tonight. I have been a resident of Mountain House and an LUSD parent for over 10 years. Tonight, I'm not just speaking for myself. I'm here on behalf of every parent who shares this concern, whether they signed the petition or signed it and are here with us in person today. As you may know, a petition was recently started by parents in our community. Its purpose is simple: to understand what solutions LUSD has planned to ensure every child has an equal opportunity, no matter when they enroll or how crowded the grade is. In just 1 week, the petition has already gathered over 560 signatures, a clear sign of how many parents share this concern regarding overcrowding, pathway access, AP and honors availability, and overall high school space. We are aware that Mountain House original plan was approved 30 years ago. It has only one high school. Since then, our community has continued to grow year after year. The growth has brought in far more students than the plan ever accounted for. Our high school was never built to support this many kids. So our question is, why do we keep adding students to an overcrowding problem that we have not yet solved? Just to reiterate, this is not a concern from high school parents alone. This is a concern shared by the parents with kids in grades K through 8, because every one of those kids will eventually reach the same high school. I will now hand it over to my fellow LUSD parent to share more. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Now, Pretam.
Good evening, President Bombo and members of the board. My name is Preetam Deshpande. I'm back here tonight again in a follow-up with my previous public comment from last meeting. I'm here about the capacity challenges at Mountain House High School. Yesterday, high school principal Adam and Cuesta principal met with a group of parents, shared their plans to add capacity to engineering pathway and how they're planning to address some of the challenges with capacity. We appreciate that and look forward for similar engagements going forward. The issue is not just about one pathway. This is about overcrowding campus-wide. The students are missing not only CTE pathways that I mentioned last week. That was my initial understanding. But students are missing requested AP honors classes as well. They're not able to get what they are requesting for because of the capacity problems. And it's also showing up in non-academic areas like long lunch lines where students go hungry if they don't get food in time or miss their classes. Earlier today, district Facebook page celebrated the 80% freshmen are placed in one pathway or in a pathway. That's worth celebrating, but that's only part of the picture. There's a different side of that picture, which is 100% of engineering pathway requests by freshmen were denied, and this needs to be taken seriously. And some sophomores who were also denied last year as well as this year, so they couldn't get an engineering pathway again this year. Residents of Mountain House deserve to know why isn't working, what isn't working, and how the district plans to fix it. High school capacity problems are very well known for you guys now. I'll not take much time on that. I'm here tonight asking for two things from the board. First, publish clear public data so parents understand what is going on, what the numbers are. The numbers that I'm asking for are course placement gaps that's happening, how many students requested for this pathway, an AP or honors, and how many got it. Just because of capacity problem. I understand there are different problems for which they don't get it. Along with real staffing plan and plans for overcrowded and shared spaces for cafeteria or labs like that. The second one is, this is directly to the board. I'm asking one of you to personally own this problem, look at it, and create an action committee for this and look for a solution for this problem. We are not asking for perfection. We are asking for accurate information and real accountability so families can trust the Mountain House schools and actually support the number of kids living here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. And I would ask the superintendent to have staff reach out to those parents about the school crowding issue. The board and I thank you for sharing your concerns on this matter. The school district has been working on this issue for some time. We are currently in negotiations with the developer builder, and at this time, we await a conclusion of that effort that we believe will address much of what you have stated here tonight. Until then, we request patience on the part of the community. Again, thank you all for making public comments. We do hear you. We can't respond because of state law, but we do hear you, and we are working on these issues. Moving on to item 9, consent items for consideration. Governing board meeting minutes. Oh, wait a minute, I skipped something. Consent items for consideration. Actions proposed for consent are consistent with the approved practices of the district and are deemed routine in nature. Trustees receive board agenda background information in advance of scheduled meetings and are prepared to vote with knowledge on the consent items. Item A, governing board meeting minutes of the regular meeting from August 5th. Item B, contracts under $50,000. Item C, ratification of certificated and classified personnel actions. Item D, ratification of 2026-2027 inter- and intra-district transfer requests. Item E, updated 2026-2027 fundraisers. Item F, ratification of budget revisions and warrants list, July 2026. Item G, acceptance of donations, $110 from Groundswell Charitable Foundation for student incentives at Hanson Elementary School. Would any member of the board like to pull any of these items for separate consideration or further discussion?
Move to approve consent items.
Second.
On a motion by Trustee Boulay and seconded by Trustee Olson, student trustee preferential vote?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries with 4 ayes and 1 absent. Madam Clerk, will you do the honors?
With pleasure, President Pombo. We'd like to welcome the following new hires to the Lammersville Unified School District family. Jessica Batchelor, School Secretary 1. Noah Bauer, Special Education Teacher. Macy Briggs, Self-Contained Classroom Teacher. Sushma Chintalapati, Special Education Aide 2. Leela Chititi, Noon Duty Supervisor. Cynthia Duran, Administrative Assistant 2. Urmila Gawali, Food Service Worker. Bailey Jorgensen, Personnel Technician. Dara Parek, Food Service Worker. Roberto Perez, Production Chef. Jamie Reynolds, Self-Contained Classroom Teacher. Heather Schrick, Special Education Teacher. And Jetta Stevens, Noon Duty Supervisor. Welcome to the Lammersville family.
Thank you. Moving on to item 10, District Administrative Report. Superintendent's Report. Dr. Nicholas.
Yes, last week the high school put out some interesting information that I thought I'd share with the board. I know that most folks have seen it, but there's some real highlights for some opportunities that the kids that I wanted to point out. It's something the board is committed to, this and past boards, and part of the development of the entire program at the high school. First of all, it's approximately 68% 45% of the student body take advantage of the 7-period day. And then for people who are not aware that your base minimum standard high school experience is a 6-period day and a 230 credit experience to get a high school diploma. It was about 10 or 12 years ago that the high school went to this 7-period day model. And in doing so, it provided opportunities for students to pursue enrichment, interests, academics, interventions, credit recovery, and other like pathways, CTE, as we developed those as the high school grew, and Project Lead the Way. And at present, based on the numbers that we have, 43% of our seniors have already earned enough credits for high school to graduate. So basically, 43% of our senior class are going to be taking some level of enrichment, whether it's an additional class of interest or a pursuit of theirs. I thought that was a telling number of the success of the 7-period day. And we have worked very hard. One of the things that we've aspired to is to be a top 10 high school in U.S. News and Reports, and they really emphasize particular programs. And so the CTE pathways were difficult because you had to pool the kids for their interest and then build a program. But in order to build the program, you had enough kids to pay for the teacher. And so it kind of, it was almost like a tail wagging the dog over time, is you had to have enough kids to build it, and then you had to maintain the interest. Obviously, the big three at the high school are biomedical, engineering, and computer science, though I do have in here that we have 400 kids doing ceramics. So old school art is still in there. And then the second one I thought was interesting because it was focused in on the academic extracurriculars. But we have some very highfalutin programs outside of the classroom. HOSA, some are co-curricular, some are extracurricular. HOSA, DECA, Skills USA, Robotics, Speech and Debate, Science Olympiad, Science Fair, Mock Trial, and Student Leadership. And just some highlights, almost 1,650 students, 64% of the student body participated in the clubs. And the clubs aren't just academics. They're really around, they can be cultural, they can be service-oriented, they can be interest-based, and they can be academic. So as the kids bring forward the interest, Dr. Arbach and his team build it. And again, in order for that to happen, you have to have the kids in the interest, a teacher advisor, funding to support it, and then it grows. And that's one of the really neat things about building a high school from scratch is as time passes, new things come along. HOSA, just a couple of highlights I think is really interesting. 53 from the HOSA program, 53 state top 10 finishers, and 20 international qualifiers in the HOSA system. In DECA, there's over 350 members. 73 attended the State Career Development Conference, 37 were in the top 12, and 2 teams earned first place in class. Skills USA, 12 students made it to the nationals, 11 earning first place in the California competition. And Annalie Palsania was a national champion. And we'll just put it out there, Principles of Engineering and Technology. Robotics had 2 teams to make it to the World Championships in St. Louis. Speech and Debate made their 10th appearance at the National Speech and Debate Tournament. And 21 Mustangs were able to go to Richmond, Virginia, amongst 1,500 schools across the country who participated. Science Olympiad, 45 students competing across 3 teams. We won the regionals with the blue team, and we had our best state finish as 7th place amongst the state qualifiers. Science Fair, 67 students, 39 projects. We had each first and for second place in the 3 school investigative categories, and 4 investigations advanced to this California Science Fair competition. Mock trial, our varsity team finished 5th amongst 15 teams, and we had students who received top attorney and witness. And finally, we have a student leadership program with over 140 kids. So when you think about those, that's just a cornucopia of opportunity for kids. on top of what they're doing. I know I was a kid who I did well academically, but I was interested in sports, which I'm going to get to in a second. But for kids who have interest in a particular area, we have volumes of kids having opportunities and experiences we should all be proud of. And then in the more traditional track high school, the high school put out a volume 3 around extracurriculars in the VAPA program. We offer 23 sports at the high school, and they're leveled. So we have varsity, JV, and freshmen. So in the fall, we have 11 sports with 25 different teams leveled. 5 winter sports with 20 level teams, and 7 spring sports with 18 level teams. We're offering the first freshman boys volleyball team in our section. That's the Sac Joaquin, meaning Sacramento County area and San Joaquin County area, the first freshman team. So obviously we'll be going over the hill to Tri-Valley to play our games. But that's a great development and one of the advantages of a high school of the scale of our high school. We had 430 fall athletes, 406 winter athletes, 343 spring athletes. And it was important to note that sideline cheer and dance teams were included. That's often a controversy and a debate out there as sports or not sports. We count them as sports, so we want to take those numbers. We already have 437 students participating in sports. And our football program numbers are way up, 25% increase. We're fielding a full varsity, full JV, full freshman team. We won 5 VOL championships. And for people who don't know, the VOL is one of the most competitive sports leagues in the state of California. Our choir and our orchestra and our band program, because of the board's commitment to expanding VAPA opportunities, we had to hire an additional teacher. So the numbers are way up. We have more than 70 students in our marching band and color guard. We're going to be having 3 really cool plays. I think it's Hadestown, A Christmas Carol, and a Little Mermaid. And as I mentioned before, and I think just a capper to this whole thing, and I was excited to see this, 400 students are participating in arts and surrounding. And we do have 2, if not 3 kilns now. So I just wanted to share that. I wanted to thank Dr. Arbach for taking the time to kind of gather that information. And I think it gets people talking about not just academics, the classroom, and the school, but like all the cool things that are happening. So thank you, sir, for your efforts there. And I thought you did a good job writing those up and sending it out in a way that people can understand it in the community. Well done. And that, sir, is my report.
Thank you. And I would just like to say how proud I am of the growth over the past 10 or 12 years at Mountain House High School. It's very gratifying to see all the opportunities that students at the high school are afforded.
Thank you for that brief report.
Is it 10 minutes?
I guess my question is, and maybe it became apparent, it was forgot the word, slipping me. I think what's interesting is, the staff in the school, especially at the high school, are not done, right? So I think what you've just described and what was posted and sent out really exemplifies everything that staff has done to get us to this point.
Right.
But even with the freshman volleyball team, right, that's something new. And there continue to be new clubs, new sports, new academic options. I don't know them off the top of my head. I know, 5 years ago, we did not have the same number of pathways that we do today.
Correct.
Right. And so I recognize the community's sometimes frustration. Sometimes when we offer a lot of options, right, and you don't get the option that you want because it's very appealing because you see it, it is frustrating, right? And I understand that. But that's in a way, it's a good problem to have, that we've got demand for the offerings that we have. It validates that the effort that we're putting in to create those programs are valued by the community, right? It's better to have that problem than spend the effort, the time, the money, build a program, and then nobody signs up. And I know that's happened in other cases as well. So, I empathize with the frustration of, if you wanted to get into a pathway and you don't get that. But the numbers, I think, largely tell us that we have a lot of really good options at the high school, whether it's academics, extracurricular, or sports. And we've got a lot of students that are really excited to take advantage of them, and we're seeing the success. So I wanted to thank the staff, thank the students. I empathize with the community. I know it's, we're not perfect, and I think that humility of knowing that we've got challenges and we're continuing to try to find solutions is really commendable. I'll make one last comment in that I was approached this over the last couple of weeks about an issue at Hanson because that's where I live, and I know there were some parents who wanted to come to the school board and speak about it. I reached out and gave Dr. Nicholas a heads up of, hey, these are their concerns, and within a couple hours they basically solved the issue that the parents were concerned about. And I did not give direction to go solve anything. I just said, hey, this is what they will raise. But that type of effort and their ability to solve concerns of the community, those happen daily, and they don't get talked about at these meetings, and they don't get blasted out in the community. So I wanted to make sure that the staff knew that that they are recognized and appreciated, and make sure the community know that those things are happening, even though it might not be out there. This is I haven't, I've only been on the board a couple years. I don't think I've seen us boast like this blast in at least the last few years. So I like it. I like the PR side of it. I think there's a lot of stuff happening. We talk about a lot of it at these board meetings, but I loved seeing it out in public, and I think we should do more of that.
Excuse me, just to lower expectations, I can't solve every problem in 2 hours, so just want everybody to know that.
I would just like to echo Trustee Modi's comments and like to add that in many ways we are victims of our own success.
Yeah, and I was just going to value add to that too, that, I am grateful for all the opportunities, but I'm also grateful that we typically don't just say, okay, we're doing better than everyone else like around us, so we're good, we can stop, because we're always striving. We're going to always move forward and try to be better and better. But I echo Trustee Modi's comments that I really appreciated, Principal Auerbach, those messaging to the community. I think it was very well done, and I'm with Trustee Modi. I'd love to see more of that information out there. I think it's good. I think it helps the community see what's out there that they might not even know that's out there. Like maybe a freshman thinks they have to make JV volleyball this year, and they were like, oh, I have a team. I have a chance to make the freshman team, just for one example. So I really also enjoyed that information. And you call it bragging. I call it facts. But so thank you so much for that information. And I just have to say, I've watched this volleyball program, for just one example, start out so small, and they've come and this team, they've grown over the years and become this dominant force in the league. And to see them grow to a freshman team is just, I think that can happen with anything in our district, and that's exciting.
Madam Student Trustee, would you like to add anything to that?
I think our school is very, as of right now, that we have a lot of opportunities, as he stated, and also as Mr. Auerbach has emailed. We have HOSA, multiple clubs, even as I stated. We have new club fairs, and last year we had 120 clubs, and these clubs were not only academic-wise, it was sports, culture, different dance teams, and I think recognizing all that our school has is really important. Yeah. And I think our school is a great environment as well, with all of these different opportunities that we have.
Mr. President, can I add a quick point?
Of course.
So here's kind of an example of what happens when you get the opportunity to build a school from scratch. And we built the high school in 2 phases. And in the second phase, the community paid for a general obligation bond. And one of the buildings was the Career Technical Education building. And it was originally designed to have wood shop and machine shop, because those were the traditional high school things to do. We surveyed and surveyed and surveyed and surveyed, because that's one decision you make, and once the concrete is poured, it's over. And the decision by the board at that time is that, and the students told us what they wanted. They didn't want machine shop, and they didn't want wood shop. And so those were converted to biomedical and computer science. So imagine the opportunity that was taken at that time to hear what the kids wanted, what the community wanted, what the district needed and could afford. And the biomedical program and the computer science programs are renowned regionally. And had we created wood shop and machine shop, we'd have kids in there for sure, and they'd be getting great vocational and hands-on and very important stuff to do. But that decision made in, I would say, 2016, was fundamental to these two massive award-winning programs. And we will continue to do that. I'll give you another quick example. A friend of mine's kid played football in Pop Warner, went to a big comprehensive high school in Modesto, got hit for the first time in a big comprehensive high school tackle and didn't like it, and found another sport to play. And so that's going to happen. That was a metaphor to get to, if I don't make the team, because there's only so many spots and I want to participate, then I'm going to go find another one. And if there isn't one I want, maybe that's where lacrosse and field hockey and other sports come on. Over the hill, lacrosse is a big, big, big deal. But typically parents are paying out of pocket to fund their kids in a travel situation, where in our situation, it may be that we, in the new fields that we're putting in, 6 acres, $3 million investment by this board, is to create additional sports. So now all of a sudden we start with the varsity and then it becomes a JV and the kids have more opportunities and it spreads out like an accordion. So those are some examples of the benefit from building it from scratch.
So I can tell my kids lacrosse is coming by the time they get to the high school.
Well,
is that what I heard?
two recent examples with how we're developing our programs is 2 years ago we started I think it was 2 years, girls flag football at the high school.
Correct.
So now we have a developing flag football program. And then last year, stunt cheer came on board. So anytime there's a new opportunity, we add these things, which are more opportunities for more kids. And then also, it's not just at the high school that we do that throughout the entire district. And music is a prime example of that, how we've grown our music programs. I said this in a meeting a couple months ago. Just Cordis alone, I watched the Cordis Orchestra. There was at least 60 kids in that Cordis Orchestra. Those will all feed into the high school. So I think we're doing a really, really good job finding a variety of opportunities for our students and doing the best we can to provide those and doing it well.
Trustee
So
Boulay,
thank
yeah.
you to all of the district staff and teachers for making that happen.
Agreed. And I just have to piggyback off that orchestra comment, because when I first came on the board, there was one orchestra at the high school. I think, there was no beginning, middle, or I guess it's beginning, advanced, and then chamber orchestra. And now those orchestras are all exploding, and we only had one choir. And now we have, the chamber choir and I guess it's called advanced choir too, and then the beginning choir, and there's probably still demand for more, and the band is growing, and we have a jazz band, and so I love to see how it kind of just like this rock rolling down the hill, and the momentum we gain each year is greater and greater, and so I'm excited because where we are now is not where we'll be in a few years, guaranteed.
And just to piggyback on something the superintendent mentioned about polling the students and seeing where their interest was before we spent millions and millions of dollars on the CTE buildings. We didn't stop polling the students at that time. We still poll the students and poll the students and poll the students to see what interests they have so that we know what courses to offer.
I was going to, I think as many of you have had children go through the district and have been on the board. So I think as board members, what the community may not know is board members, we tend to go to more events simply because we want to show support, even if our kids are not part of that. In general, a lot of the parents, and this is not a bad thing, is they tend to go to events that their kids are part of, right? And I think what gets missed, though, then is the historical aspect of the growth that exists at the school. So I don't know if we've documented that or if that's on like a web page. If you go to the high school and say, I want to learn about band, is there a historical aspect to say, listen, back in 2018 we had this, and it might be worth including some of that, not from like a boasting standpoint, but more from like a historical record standpoint, because I think to Trustee Olson's point, it just ends up being facts, and I think especially as our community is still growing, a lot of parents and a lot of families are moving into the district. They don't have the benefit of knowing what happened over the last 10 years. So they may have a pain point that they experience when they start. They're not aware of the context of a lot of the development. It might be helpful to try to provide some of that context in some fashion.
Just an aside, my daughter was part of the first graduating class from Mountain House High School, and there were 47 graduates that year. They had very few sports or other extracurriculars available to them, but they had a good time anyway. Moving on to item B, district enrollment report. Dr. Nicholas.
Yes, the district enrollment is presently at 8,230 students.
Thank you. And item C, district maintenance and operations report. Director LeGrand.
Good evening. Thanks for having me.
Welcome.
School started very smoothly for us again, very quiet. I believe I received one text all day from Thor about a minor issue. Other than that, it was pretty quiet. So I have to give kudos to my staff and credit for their hard work all summer. These things don't happen magically. All their hard work made it very smooth, the custodial staff as well. So thanks to all of them. No issues with the pool, everything's good there. Grounds have a few issues working with. We had a mainline break at Altamont inside the track. We're getting that fixed. The booster pump at Bethany's acting up, so we're trying to get that fixed as well. HVAC, we only have a few calls we're dealing with right now, which is nice with the warm weather. Got a handful of calls only to deal with. This morning, the grounds guys and I participated in the EPIC interviews at Mountain House High School. We interviewed 6 students. 5 of the 6 put us as our number 1 choice. So the 6th one, no one was kidding, he's fine. He was second choice by him. So it looks like we're gonna have 5 to 6 interns this year, starting out. We have 2 returning seniors. Our plan is to put the 2 seniors in charge of the other 4 juniors, give them some leadership skills. So we're looking forward to that. The fire sprinklers for the high school portables, the rooms are cleaned by the contractor the week before school started, Wednesday and Thursday before school started. Our staff went in there Friday, did some final touch-ups. Teachers came back Monday, school started on Thursday, so they're ready to go when everyone came back, as promised. The restroom upgrades here at the DO and PDC. So I missed the construction meeting this morning because I was in the EPIC interviews, but I did, with the PDC this morning, they're grouting the tile in the bathroom, which is one of the final steps. And I did talk to the contractor, and they said it should be wrapped up, if not next week for sure, by next week for sure. So I'm sure everyone will be really happy to hear that. This is going to be finally done with this project. Pombo opened really smoothly. We were there last minute getting things done, and it was a nice, quiet day I was out there. Really nothing to note. We had our construction meeting today. It looks like we're going to get the other 2 classroom buildings, classroom D and E, building E, sometime end of September. When we get turned over to us, all the furniture's on site. We'll just move it all over into new rooms, be ready to go whenever the schools needs the rooms available. The kindergarten equipment at Wickland. So that was my odyssey for the summer, was getting that playground done at Wickland, and we finished about a week and a half before school started. So that was good. Everyone seems to like all the new equipment, or their kids are playing on it, and I talked to the principal, and everyone seems to like everything that went in, so that's good news. And then staffing update, we have 1 opening. We received approval to add an additional ground/maintenance person, and that job was posted last week, and we'll look to fill it as soon as possible. That's all I have for tonight.
Questions or comments by the board?
I'm not the board, but Jimmy and the team and Jason and the team opening up a new school in a super heat wave, exceptional level of work, and things went smoothly, but it wasn't because things were smooth. It was because guys worked hard, the ladies worked hard, because things came in late. There were some things that out of their control that didn't work the way they should. So kudos. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear.
Good job.
When it's good things, I hear great. When it's bad, I don't hear so well.
And before the superintendent cut me off, I was just going to say thank you to you and your team for all you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
It's not overlooked by the board.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Oh, that was funny.
Moving on to
Sorry.
item 11, action items. Item A, consider approval of local teaching assignment for elective courses under Education Code 44258.7 C and D. Staff report.
Yes, this is something we do every year. It allows for elective teachers who are out of a credential area to still teach the elective. An example would be a robotics middle school class in Project Lead the Way. The teacher might not, doesn't have the right credential. So we have it's a state part of the state system, but a committee on assignments. They review who's eligible. This this is what we do with it. And then the person that was going to teach robotics would have to do project lead the way training, and then they would be considered eligible to teach a middle school elective. So we recommend approval. This allows our elective program to stay robust.
Questions or comments by the board?
Move to approve of local teaching assignments for elective courses under Education Code Section 44258.7 and D.
Second.
Oh, tie.
I think Modi got it that time.
Okay.
On a motion by trustee Olson and seconded by trustee Modi, trustee preferential vote?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries with 4 ayes and 1 absent. Item B, consider approval to hire a certificated employee on a variable term waiver. Amanda Pereira, Vice Principal, Cordes Elementary. Staff report?
Yes. So we, one of the things we get really good at is things change, and we had a person have an opportunity, which created an opportunity for somebody who's here in the district. And in order for her to fulfill the role that she's been identified by me to do, we need to pass a variable term waiver so she's in the right program and the board acknowledges it. And upon the board approval, we'd like to have her stand and be acknowledged because she's sitting right over there.
Other comments by the board?
Moved to approve to hire a certificated employee on a variable term waiver, Amanda Pereira, Vice Principal, Cordes Elementary School.
Second.
On a motion by trustee Boulay and seconded by trustee Olson, student trustee preferential vote?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries with 4 ayes and 1 absent. And I would like to invite Amanda Pereira to come up and say hello to the board and anything else she'd like to say.
Good evening. I just want to thank the district and the board for this opportunity. I've been honored to serve this district since 2015, and I'm very excited to serve in this new role and join an incredible administrative team. So thank you.
Welcome. Thank you. Moving on to item C, consider approval of a contract with Aya Healthcare, Inc. for a speech language pathologist for the 2026-2027 school year. Staff report?
Yes, district has needs in the special education realm. This will help us fulfill those needs. We recommend approval.
Questions or comments by the board?
Move to approve the contract with Aya Healthcare Incorporated for a speech language pathologist for the 2026-2027 school year.
Second.
On a motion by trustee Modi and seconded by trustee Olson, student trustee preferential vote?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries with 4 ayes and 1 absent. Item D, consider approval of contract with Summa Academy LLC for specialized academic instruction and other specialized services for a student for the 2026-2027 regular and extended school years. Staff report?
Yes, this is a non-public school for a special education student in our district. Recommend approval.
Questions or comments by the board?
Move to approve of a contract with Summa Academy LLC for specialized academic instruction and other specialized services for a student for the 2026-2027 regular and extended school year.
Second.
On a motion by trustee Olson and seconded by trustee Boulay, student trustee preferential vote?
Aye.
Very good. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries with 4 ayes and 1 absent. Moving on to item 12, calendar. Wednesday, September 2nd, 2026 is our next regular school board meeting at 7 p.m. here in the district office boardroom. On Monday, September 7th, 2026 is the Labor Day holiday. District facilities will be closed. And Wednesday, September 23rd, 2026 is the safety committee that I guess I should have mentioned during the committee reports at 3:45 in the PDC. In a moment, we will adjourn to closed session where we will discuss public employee discipline dismissal release complaint, Government Code 54957, conference with real property negotiators, Government Code 54956.8 on various APNs within Mountain House, agency negotiator, Superintendent Nicholas, negotiating parties, Mountain House developers, Camilos, Trimark, Shea Homes, under negotiations, price, terms of payment, or both.
Move to adjourn to closed session.
Second.
On a motion by trustee Boulay and seconded by trustee Olson. Student trustee preferential vote.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries with 4 ayes and 1 absent. We are now adjourned to closed session. Thank you, everyone, for coming out tonight. Have a wonderful rest of your evening and a safe drive home or wherever it is you go from here.
Thanks,